So there's this 40-year-old book lying around in the science staff room, and in it says Brisbane's got this pyroclastic flow. It's got this Tuff. I didn't know what Tuff was at the moment, but it's Tuff. Okay, and it also has a lot of. It's not in this, but it's all around Australia. It's this stuff called ignebrite flow, which is kind of the same thing as Tuff, but it's got like different layering to it. So there's like a breccia, Tuff, and basically the Tuff is more uniform and finer grained. But it's the same thing. It's a pyroclastic flow from a volcano, and so it's pretty hard to believe that there's this massive pyroclastic flow, and it's tens of meters high as well. I'll show you the pictures in a second. And so there it is there. That's what Tuff is. So it's a sedimentary rock based on the sediments of a volcano, the pyroclastic flow or the ash. And I guess it's ignebrite or whatever that word is, if there are larger particles in it. So we went down here because that right there's something, that 1-1, there's also something else that's kind of special. So apparently not only is this Tuff, there's also this dike, which a dike is usually just a fissure with magma flow. So it's usually like basalt or quartz or something. If it's a hydrothermal vent, it might be a mineral. And this is a sedimentary dike. So definitely worth noting. That's full on weird, and so that got a special mention and a picture in this book. Tried to have a look for it, couldn't find it, but this is 40 years ago, so God knows, might have been taken out with some sort of construction, or it might be a huge tree over it. So this is what the cliffs look like. You can see they're quite tall, and there's the stairs. So you've got to walk down these stairs. That's probably the quickest way to get down there. And views across the river are not too bad. So quite a nice walk. And the first thing you can see from these cliffs are they're extremely large. So that if that's ash, that's actually compacted. So it would have been much larger than that. And that's a heck of a lot of ash. And just by looking at it, you'd have no idea. It's all brown looking. Okay. So who knows what that is. And a lot of it is broken. And so this is a fresh piece that has fallen down. You can see the brown here. And it's actually all white inside. I was actually able to find a piece just on the floor that had these, which is probably pyroxene crystals, which is pretty rare to find. I have seen them sort of before, but this is one's at Hinds Dam, which is like literally mountains and mountains of rocks, and this is the only one I could find. So extremely rare. This one's probably pyroxene in basalt, and that seemed to be pyroxene crystals in the Tuff, which is the volcanic ash. And you've been looking at rocks too long when you start seeing pyroxene crystals on the pavement and on the walls in Brisbane City. I think people in their subconscious are trying to mimic nature for some reason. So I just took a piece that was pretty much on the road, a small piece that had fallen off, and just having to take it home to have a closer look. You can see it does look like magnetite, the texture of it. So there's obviously a lot of iron in this this Tuff, and that has oxidized iron oxide. So there's a hematite weathering layer. This particular piece is also a little bit orange, looks a little bit weathered. It's not like the white, fresh piece with the rocks that fall down off those cliffs. And you can see it looks very much like pumice. It looks a little bit glassy. The pyroclastic flow has to have little particles. You can see them there, that they're under 2 millimeters. So it is ash. And I'll show you the pumice looks very similar. So it is that glassy ground mass, they call it. And this is the other side. So you can see it's sort of glassy, pumicey looking with small flows. So that's a sedimentary rock from ash that's come from pyroclastic flow. So this is the pumice that I have. So you can see the only difference. The texture is quite glassy as well. The difference is this is extremely light, and you can see all little holes and pockets of air, gas. And so it does pretty much look like pumice under the microscope, but it just doesn't have the pockets of air. So yeah, believable. Yeah, so it must be some sort of ash sedimentary rock, which is tough. Okay, so you can say to the rock climbers as they're climbing up it, that looks really tough, guys. And they'll have no idea what you're talking about. They'll think it's tough to climb, but it is actually tough. And so lastly, you can just see it. There are all sorts of nice colors. There's like greens and purples and pinks, obviously white, and obviously the reds from it resting. So they made a lot of structures around Brisbane. They've made it out of this tuff. There's just another one on the edge of the river, another one that sort of goes into the river. Even the back streets have them lined up along here, just along the roads. And here you can see, unfortunately, there's all that sort of like hematite. So it's not that pretty. And that one's quite enormous. Looks like it'd be quite tough to make.